Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
Thanks, Dan.
Time to do some sketchy shit. Doo-dah, doo-dah. Hope I get away with it. Oh, da doo-dah day.
I don't know if anybody can hear me. I hope so. Um, this is not the regularly scheduled stupid o'clock. Joe Dog made a typo. So that's not a big deal. If anybody can hear me, please nod your head or something. But in the meantime, we got Rich, we got Joe, we got Carl, we got Aunt Donna, and we have the lovely Thessaly Jane Taylor.
Woo! We can hear you, Dan.
Okay,
Yep.
I wondered about that. It took me forever to find the right headset for the microphone to work while the video was going on. It's much easier when I've got like half an hour to prepare before the shows. I still don't have the right one for the audio.
Or a day.
I don't know. It's kind of
You wanted a
I
half hour
feel.
to prepare. How about another day?
Yeah. Well, I'll take that too if I can get it. Believe me. Normally, I'm so desperate for publicity, I'd appear at the opening of an envelope if you gave me a chance. But that's neither here nor there. Um, yeah. So we're just gonna mess around here for a little while. This is not going to be a full length show. Um, this is not going to be the green room. I got to keep reminding myself. Although I am in desperate need for one, and it's only Wednesday, so nah.
This is called rescuing Joe's bacon.
And how's
What was
everybody
that?
else doing?
Doing okay now. I'm killing those kidney stones one at a time here.
Mm.
Doing okay for now until the test block wears off.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm doing good. I'm sitting in a parking lot waiting for barrels to get put out on the road, and then I get to go play live action Frogger tonight.
Ooh.
yeah. Well, apparently Joe Dog is in his truck doing what I do not know.
And we won't
That's not-
speculate since this is in the green room.
Yeah. That's not to
Mm,
speculate.
he's probably measuring something or moving things around or somehow or another getting ready for Helicon because he always does. Oh, see, even when it ain't the green room, we can innocently remark things that sound suggestive.
Carl, what's that strange word you use?
Innocent? Didn't think that was. I didn't think that word was in your vocabulary, Aunt Donna. We'll send you a Funkin' Wagnalls here later.
Hey, Aunt Donna,
Yes.
your microphone might be on the new headset instead of your other microphone. You might want to check which one it is. Yep, I think that's where we're
Yes,
hearing
it
you from.
is.
Yep.
Pull that down. Do that.
Which means I have to turn them around for it to come down. How's that?
There you go.
There we go.
Oh.
She got some new headphones, so
One that finally fits my fat head.
Yeah,
I am
just
so
got
not
a
touching that
haircut.
line. I would like to live.
I just got a haircut, so I had to readjust mine.
Oh, so welcome to Match Game 43. Thessley, how you doing? You want to share your good news with the world?
So I haven't been as active as I used to be because I started school for psychology. I'm majoring in psychology to hopefully go for my master's in doctoral later on down the road. We'll see how this goes. And I'm still in my first year, but I have been accepted into the honors program at my school, as well as distinguished honors, not just regular honors, but distinguished honors, as well as part of the National Honor Society. And I just put my application in for Psyche, which is the psychology version of National Honors.
That is such a great
Nice.
fun.
Congrats.
Yeah,
very
that
good.
is awesome.
I'm very proud of you.
Yeah, good. I tell you what, I did not expect to lose sleep, time, friends, and or food.
Cutie.
What part of college did you not understand?
Okay, look, yo, in my defense, this was not the road I was initially going to take.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello, Kiri.
Oh.
I can't really stay long, but I wanted to pop in and participate in the little troll we're doing
Yeah.
until Joe Dog realizes that he scheduled the show on the wrong day.
Well, I may have to work up a "oh no, not again, Joe" intro for the show. I know he's got
Night,
one special.
Michaela.
He's got one specially made
Michaela.
for when I nod off during a show, and he has to come in and close it down. So, and no, folks, I know I may have maybe 3 loyal viewers across the planet. There's not going to be last man standing tonight because I do have to work tomorrow, and I've got stuff to do at the ungodly hour of 7 a.m.
Mm,
Well, I am getting paid for it,
That's
and
good.
quite handsomely too.
that's all
Ah,
that counts.
that's
When
the
you're
only
working.
reason I pay attention when the alarm clock goes off at 6. I'm still getting paid.
Not much longer.
No, not at all. I am, let's see, it is the 15th. By this time next year, I will be about 6 days into being officially retired.
Yay.
I'll
Yeah.
be pensioner. And
Hey, Dan, I got my Social Security check today.
I need to make sure
Oh, yeah.
that I've got all that stuff, all the paperwork for that filled out
Mm-hmm.
about Thanksgiving or thereabouts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yep.
about 3 months.
Yep. Well,
Yeah.
okay, so it might be right about the time I clock out for the last time then, because
Mm-hmm.
I will have a 2 or 3 months between the time I walk
Oh.
out and the time that I can officially start my Social Security without suffering a penalty.
Yeah, they want you to file like 3 months before you plan to retire, and then they still wait a month or two before they get you your first check, which is a pain. But yeah, whatever.
Well, I'm not sticking around till I'm 66 and a half so that I
Mhm.
don't face the penalty. It'll
Right.
be about 3 months short of that. So,
Hmm.
you know,
Yeah.
no big deal. I put up with it for 45 years. I
Mhm.
swear, if I'd killed somebody, I'd already been out.
Yeah, I know.
I mean,
But
this has been the longest sentence I've ever had, aside from some of the ones in my books. And I do need an editor. I'd always need an editor.
as an employee of the state of Illinois, I always ask, what was the difference between a state employee and a prisoner in the state prison? And that is that the state prisoners get fed for free.
Conjugal visits.
Yeah.
Not the green room.
I was gonna say he got conjugal visits while he was working.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, can't complain there.
Not, not if you know what's good for you.
Not the green room. Not the green room.
Can't complain, but
Not if you want to continue
somehow I
getting
still
them.
do. Ah. Hmm.
Yeah,
Now I find myself with the unenviable problem of not having enough beer in the beer fridge over here. I'll have to go to the living room again. Um, about
Uh-oh.
about 3.5 beers from now.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I thought we were about
Yeah.
to be left unsupervised.
Well, listen, guys, I've got to get off of here. I'm currently in the middle of a stream, but I wanted to drop by, say hi, and I'll be watching the show from here until Joe Dog kicks us all off.
Yeah.
Joe Dog ain't got nothing to do with it. It's just us folks tonight. Show's already running. I guess he could override my junior co-host status here and shut it all down if he wanted to, but then again,
I am Frau Blucher.
he'd probably face a little bit of a kickback or a reaction from
Yeah.
his loyal audience, which is much larger than mine. Let's be honest.
You guys have a good rest of your night, and I will be in the chat.
All right, thank you for being here, Kerry.
Take a lot, man.
Let me switch this back to comments before I'm tempted to play another video. He's got an enormous
Yes.
folder of videos.
Yeah. Huge tracts of land.
And I don't know if there was a way to organize them so that they were quicker to find the ones you were looking for, besides just stacking them up every night. Go, okay, I'm going to play this one and then
Mhm.
this one and then that would be great. That would be great. But it's unfortunately doesn't seem to be quite possible.
OBS just, well, they didn't add it into OBS, but there's an add-on now that allows you to create folders and keep scenes in folders now, I guess.
Yeah,
And I have not tried it yet, but I really need to play with that. And I'm hoping that StreamYard will eventually come into that and say, oh, yeah, people need folders because they got a lot of scenes.
Mm.
yeah. That would be useful. I don't know exactly how StreamYard would work it, but then I don't know anything about the way they've got things organized.
They need
All I,
They need to hire Joe Bachman.
Essentially, they
Mm,
just need to build a folder structure inside of that part where all the videos and stuff are stored. No different than having the different brands. So,
See,
like,
I told you they need to hire Joe Bachman full time.
oh,
no, I just play out on the roads.
Oh, okay.
They can hire Rich though.
Well, when they started it, they probably didn't figure on people like Joe Dog who was going to play 3 million on the same night.
mm,
That's true. A lot of people, maybe have 6 scenes maybe that they play during a show.
Yeah.
this is
Opening
true. This
credits,
is true.
ending credits, couple of ads.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you'd have an ads folder. You'd have a rim shot folder for all the different. When somebody says something, you just go, okay, right, click,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
you'd have the now, knowing Joe Dog, he'd have about 3 terabytes of Rickroll
Uh-huh.
in a folder.
No.
Yeah, he
Yes,
would. He would.
he would.
Oh Lord.
He'd have
That's
a
where I got the one at the intro of the show.
he'd have a Rick roll. He'd have a Rick roll in Spanish.
Oh,
have somebody with footage of Groot from one of the movies and the Rock's voice doing a Rick roll and
Mhm.
anything, everything.
Yeah.
Do not rickroll me, please. I've gone so long.
It's all right. Like I said, I hit it up during the intro for the show. You've already been Rick rolled. You just didn't realize it.
I didn't have the sound on.
Good for you.
Hmm.
Oh,
I can think of real life situations where that would be a wonderful thing.
Mm-hmm.
I do believe I had an uncle on my mom's side once that he said that the secret to a happy life is don't be too quick to replace the batteries in your hearing aid some days, boy.
That worked for my dad and my grandfather. As they got deafer and deafer, they just look at everybody when somebody was talking and they'd shake their head, and every once in a while I go, when I did that to Donna a couple of times, she's like, don't even try that.
Oh. Well, I used to do that actually when I was like the safety monitor on the school bus,
Hmm.
and it was one of those old 1950s model school buses that were still running in the 70s with holes in the floor and fiberglass seats put in because the regular seats from the old days had already had people's initials cut in them and whatnot. And I do believe the muffler that they had on that thing was something off of a drag racer,
Oh,
just a regular dragster, because that was the loudest bus. And the bus driver would talk to me because I'm standing there with the little safety John Brown built in fluorescent orange, working the door whenever he stopped, put the flag out for everybody, all the traffic to stop. I could not hear a word that man said, so I just smiled and nodded, and every once in a while, when he laughed, I'd laugh too.
It works.
Okay, Houston, we have a problem.
Oh,
It's saying this video is unavailable and chat has been disconnected and is unable to reconnect.
Whoa! I just saw that too on YouTube.
all right. Well,
Well, hey.
You challenged Joe Dog, and apparently Joe Dog.
Oh, there he is. He's awake.
I thought it was Wednesday.
Speaking
It
of the
it
devil
is
himself,
Wednesday.
It is.
Hi, Keisha.
So is this a special edition?
No, you put the
No,
wrong
this
date
is just
down.
because you scheduled it for Wednesday.
Well, I'm trying to cancel it, to reschedule it.
Well,
So y'all just jumped in here without me, I see.
Yep.
Mhm.
yeah. Well, the recording's there. I'm going to make it a permanent part of the playlist on my channel.
You've already
If-
got all kinds of views and likes, so you know what.
If you've actually got it broadcasted
Actually-
to my YouTube, then it's going to be locked into the playlist.
Well, I got YouTube shut down, and all the YouTube shut down. I couldn't shut off the Facebook.
It's because you got people watching it, probably. So I don't know. I don't know why the on the air light is still on. I mean, seriously, this is now the green room. So
Oh, Keisha's watching. She's still.
Well,
on here.
Keisha's on Facebook.
Yeah.
Dawn was in the Stupid O'Clock room, and it said 6 watching,
Yeah.
only 2 likes, but 6
All right,
watching.
Facebook's, YouTube's are back running again.
oh well,
You got
no,
loyal
it's
audience, Joe.
it's been removed by the uploader. So
Yep, unavailable.
Well,
I guess.
I guess a new show just started on the channels.
Well, good grief! You always make things so complicated.
Well, shit, y'all are the ones that complicated it.
We were just waiting until you came in and told us get off your lawn.
No,
Oh, we're back on already. Oh, good. I can
I
put
heard
another
somebody
like-
pop in. Who's that? Oh, there's Dawn. Okay.
I can put another like on it. There you go.
Oh no, Don, you haven't missed the fun part yet.
Yeah,
Although it's been fun all the way along.
here we
Hello,
go.
Keisha. And I don't know. This is another thing Joe Dog's gonna have to brag about to StreamYard. You know, you can stop the show and start it all over again in the same night.
Yeah, anybody can do that. That's been.
Oh. Oh, now you got 4 likes. Holy moly. You could get all kinds of watch hours this week. I'll tell you.
Oh, and we have Mind Twist 81.
That is
Yeah,
Heather.
That's Heather.
Heather.
Yeah.
That's Heather. Yeah. Hey, Heather.
You had to have a show on Wednesday before you woke Heather up there.
That's all right. That's all right.
All right, I'll be back in just a minute. Good
Okay.
grief.
Hey, we're not.
I'm still here. I'm just got to step away for a minute.
One day I'm gonna have a long talk with that boy.
I got to get me another beer, okay?
Okay. We cracked this one up.
I better make it too. I mean, seriously, got
Get out
some
of my
catching
head.
up to do.
Get out of my head.
Rich, one of these days, you and I are going to have to collaborate on a story because we're already living in each other's pockets. Oh,
Yes.
Lord.
Hey, Don.
Hello,
Hi.
Dawn. Ah, welcome to the accidental world of comedy.
Live tonight from a Chinese satellite somewhere over the United States, it's Stupid O'Clock.
We're transmitting from a balloon that hasn't been shot down yet.
All right, I'm back.
Actually,
Dang,
we're
dang it.
yeah.
Those signals are bouncing all over the place. It's worse
I
than
had
a
to.
radio.
I was violating one of my broadcast rules, and I had to correct that problem. I went and put pants on.
Wow, this really is like
Good.
Wait,
I like the Keystone Cops
I
right
believe Brian K. Morris would be proud of you for that.
Probably would. Yeah.
now.
I've never done a show without pants on, so I had to go put my pants on.
It really does feel like we're just like the Keystone Cops right now.
Well, we're not violating the Hays Code much.
Yeah.
Much.
I don't know if I've ever done a show with
Kelly
pants
Austin
on.
would be very proud of us.
Mm-hmm.
Now the Mann Act, that's a different story.
Mm-hmm.
We're not transporting anybody across state lines. The transporter doesn't work that far yet. I'm still trying to
Not what
fine
you
tune it
said
to where
last
it could get
night.
down from the local package store to my refrigerator, so I can get beer at 11:59. Hello, Scott. Yeah, what trouble are we getting into? All kinds.
This and that.
The short list is all of it.
Hmm.
I have pants on, so that's all that matters.
Damn.
I don't.
Good to know, too.
So do I, but that's only because they got cameras along the interstate.
Mm.
Are you saying, Joe, you wouldn't? By the way, Joe, okay, look down here again if you can. Are you driving?
I'm driving right now.
Oh.
I
Because
see red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Police,
Yeah, it's
police,
our state
police,
cop escort.
Jesus.
He's being pulled over.
Oh, Dan did something he shouldn't have. Not Dan.
I'm hoping I did something I should have, and it's finally my turn for a book to come out.
Quick, hide the phone, Joe.
No, that's our state cop for the job site tonight.
Oh.
oh, so it's both the flashing lights are supposed to be there.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's good. That's good.
I happened to look up earlier and I was like, oh my gosh, Joe, you just look completely different. Like you look.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh
Like
no.
you got a haircut.
Y'all don't give me straight lines. The police have got their flashers on. Suddenly I see one of those YouTube videos that you're really not going to be wanting to watch unless you've actually Googled that sort of thing. And
Done. I'll talk. Everybody else be quiet, okay? We're cool.
No, I am not putting that in my pocket to hide it from them.
Who
Come
said
on,
anything
Dawn.
about your pocket, honey?
Put the bottle in your pocket. Put the bottle in your pocket. Come on. Quick.
With what
Quick.
pocket?
Quick. Hey, you gotta have a big pocket, but hey, look at that. I'm almost done
Okay,
with
so
that.
that draws out some of us.
Well, I'm in trouble anyway, so.
By the
You're
way,
always in
Cecily, I
trouble.
don't think we've met. I'm Dawn. If she's taking a drink.
Yeah.
Don't make a joke.
Of course.
That's
I'm
all
going to
we
introduce
needed.
myself.
Well,
See, Keystone Cops.
Grab your wastebasket.
911.
I'm in trouble with Donna again.
Which one?
The
Mine.
other one.
Uh-oh.
Oh, yours?
I'll bet
When
you.
have you
Oh.
not been?
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Now I told her, I said I wanted to play Lion Tamer tonight, and she went, "What?" I said, "Yeah, you get on all fours, and I put my head in your mouth."
Oh.
You okay,
There went
Cecily?
the Mann Act.
Yeah. There we go. It is the green room after all. Oh my gosh. Oh,
And it's on his account. It's being recorded. I tried not to do that.
I know. You did.
Uh,
You
Yeah,
have
I said
to
it.
My
do it on
textbook.
the wrong night. You know, this is what happens when we do it on the wrong night.
Are you okay, Thessaly?
I'm still alive and breathing, so I guess so.
I am so sorry. I didn't
That's
mean to
good.
ask you that just as you were tipping back.
It wouldn't. That's not what got me. It was the statement of, "Oh, just as they're starting to drink," and I was like, "Okay, there we go." But I am going to need you to restate your statement because I did not fully hear it.
Oh, I said I'm Dawn. I don't think we've met. Hi.
Oh, hi, I'm Thessaly. I'm the. I don't know what I am.
If you're part of this group, nobody knows what we are.
Ooh,
Oh.
nice.
This is very true.
Nobody knows who we are?
That's
Nobody
great, Heather.
I'm the
knows.
empress of everything.
That's well, nobody knows because we're a little of everything.
No.
Oh.
I am the empress.
Yeah, Dan, I got the show reset so we can start tomorrow at the normal show.
Are you sure you got it right this time?
Yes, I got it right this time.
Did you double check?
Yes,
Did
it's
you
set
triple
to start
check?
on the 16th.
Are you
Okay.
sure? 'Cause it shows AM.
Always have a second person to be
kidding.
another set of eyes.
Ouch.
Is it really?
Do you have
No, it
clean
doesn't.
underwear
Oh,
just
yeah,
in
I'm on my
case?
phone doing this.
I'll be at work. I don't even have a camera there, much less a good
Pants.
green
It's set
screen.
for February 16th, 9 p.m.
Okay.
All right, good. All right.
Yeah,
8
that
p.m.
reminds me, I gotta go check out
regular
Never
people.
mind the furthermore later.
For
And
those that are centralized.
if anybody is watching this at home, this is the essence of Stupid O'Clock. This is exactly the kind of conversations that you would have at a convention in the middle of the night when everything else is shut down or in between panels that you know you've got an hour in between things that you definitely want to see,
Mm-hmm.
and you're just hanging around in the hallway and bump into somebody and they have
Y'all do
a
not want to
crowd.
hear my conversations at
Oh, yes,
conventions
we
between
do.
panels at 3 a.m.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair though, that's how me and well, I guess I'm pointing this way. Dan and I met
Yes, indeed.
Okay.
One
stepping
of my
outside having
fondest
a cigarette.
memories. One of my fondest memories.
Aw, this is sweet.
Yep. And
Yeah,
Thessaly,
not many people could say that statement when they meet me, so I'll take it.
Thessaly showed me a notebook where she had been working on a story.
Nope. That is no longer a work in progress. That got burned to the ground.
I'm sorry, but still, it was basically the story of how we met and became
This is true.
friends.
This is true. I don't know. I
Uh,
may try to relight it.
Hey, it would be worthwhile. In any case, I read it and I go, this is great, and she asked me a couple of technical questions about it, and I was reading along, and for some reason I stood there and I started acting, and I became a couple of her characters, and was reciting the story back to her with a dramatic voice, and didn't sound like a used car salesman with a 54 Pinto that was going cheap, but he wanted to make an extra buck off of it. So anyway, the long and short of it was that I kind of improv'd a couple of lines that she liked, and she snatched that notebook out of my hand so fast I thought the paper was going to catch on fire, and started writing. So
That's how Dan gets them.
Well, honestly, Dan was the first person that helped me publish my first work of art too.
Yes, indeed. And I believe my contribution was pretty much helping you retain your confidence in yourself.
No, you did more than that, but yes, you did.
And I also taught you a little bit about 2-point perspective, which you'd never heard of before, but I had to
And
use it in
honestly, that's helped
drafting
me doing a lot of artwork too.
Yeah, well, it's one of those things. it's not something that you'd ever run into unless you were actually trying to lay out a floor plan or do a complicated landscape art with a big building in the middle ground, not the background or not the foreground, but in the middle there. And if anybody didn't know, 2-point perspective is one of those things where you've got something that recedes into the distance, but not to a single point, but to two separate points on either side of the absolute center of the image.
You also see a lot in comic book art too.
Yeah, sure do. I ran into it in drafting school. Drafting classes in art school.
It's one of those that you've seen it, but you don't know what it was until, oh, that's what it is.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, I just figured out how I messed up on the date and the time.
Yeah.
Someone talked about me going over to somebody and pooting on them, and it reminded me I had some of those pickled eggs from John Scarborough, and I got totally distracted.
Yeah, if you don't put a like on this show, Joe Dog will come to your house and eat that pickled eggs, and you don't want that. So put a like on the show now.
How to
And that's where
distract
I
a
got
man,
distracted.
put food in front of him.
Put what in front of me?
Put food in front of you.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it's rather powerful food.
Mm-hmm. Methane production food.
Mm.
Yeah.
Oh, I actually got a reply from Elon in a tweet.
He says he didn't need that much methane. Thank you very much. Good night.
No, I said, why don't you go to some of these sewer treatment plants around Texas of these major cities, because they burn the stuff off, set them up a recondenser, free methane. He goes, didn't think of that. That's all I got back is at Joe Dog 158. Didn't think of that.
Just before he blocked you. I'm just pulling your leg, Joe.
Oh.
Don't pull too hard. You know what happens.
Yeah.
Well,
At least he didn't have to tell you to pull his finger.
Yeah, exactly.
Hi, Rich.
Hey, Barry.
I found us a third writer for the collaboration, Rich. Oh.
I dilated today, and they're still not quite 100% back to not being abnormal.
Understood.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
No, her eyes got dilated, Joe.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going, why are you sitting here? Okay. Sorry.
When you were on the way home, did you happen to notice how many different colors of red the taillights in traffic actually are?
Who, me?
Yeah, because you had your eyes dilated. I had that done to me once, and I had to drive myself home.
I did. Luckily, it's really close, and it's like 1 turn, 2 turns, but...
Yep. I wound up noticing that, what I thought was all the same colors of red in car taillights are actually about 50 different colors.
50 Shades of Red.
And all of them entirely too bright. Can't say the same for the drivers, but the colors, very bright.
Luckily, it was cloudy and rainy, so it wasn't that bad. And like I said, it's pretty close. I mean, it's maybe not even 2 miles. So,
is William Joseph Roberts still here? Shoot me an email, dude, so I know what it was that we need to have a talk about. Because I am on tenterhooks right now, hoping it's time for one of my books to go through the pre-publishing process. Because he's got 3 submissions right now, so that would be very nice. That would be very, very. Everybody wish me luck.
Yeah.
Good luck.
Good luck with that.
Well, I hear William Joseph Roberts is going to be Toastmaster at Chattacon next year.
That's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. Very entertaining fellow too.
You've rolled too much more, dude, and you are falling on the
Got my
ground.
assignments done. Yeah.
All right. Congratulations. That's always a good feeling, ain't it?
Oh yeah, and I still have plenty of time. Usually I wait till the last minute.
Hmm. I'm familiar with finishing my homework at a bus stop on my way to class.
Mm-hmm.
Usually I wait till like 11 o'clock, and where I only have is 59 minutes to get this done, and I still get hundreds. So I mean,
Well, my temptation was that the University of Georgia Library is 7 stories tall, and
I would never leave.
I had a library card. I was
would
checking
never
books
leave.
out every day.
I would never leave.
I didn't want to, but I had to go to class sometimes
Mm-hmm.
and go home. Had to get on the tractor and do work. So
Yeah.
yeah, the joys of being a farm boy.
Yeehaw.
Well, we had a lot of yeehaw moments, but mostly it was jumping terraces in the tractor. You get a Ford tractor airborne for 3 or 4 feet, you feel like you're filming a Dukes of Hazzard scene right there.
Wait a minute. Did I hear you say jumping Ferris wheels in a Ford tractor?
Well,
Terraces.
Oh,
Tonight
okay.
on the Dukes.
Yeehaw.
I was about to go, okay, Dan, I've heard you tell some whoppers, but come on.
Okay,
Hey,
so here's the real question: am I bringing out the violin
Or I should
tonight? Or
say,
Hey, if
Sure.
you're in the mood,
yeah,
we want to
go
hear.
ahead.
but like right now?
That's up to you. The timing is always your choice.
Oh, but that means I gotta get up and walk into the other room.
Oh, it's pain. Life is so painful.
Now Joe's blinking in amber.
it's because I'm behind the
There,
pump truck.
there goes the Batmobile.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was stuck in that remake of 2001.
Hey, Donna,
Hey, Carl.
I finished it.
Sorry, Joe. I can't.
Here's my surprise look.
Now I can buy some good gin.
Oh, that
What?
was the Deadpool gin.
Yeah, not so great. It was
Okay.
okay, but
It's gin. What do you expect?
Well, for it to have a taste would be nice.
oh, it has a taste. It wasn't a great taste.
Oh, okay.
But that was the problem, though.
I got some a couple of weeks ago, and I don't usually buy gin, but I expected it to have a taste, and it's pretty much. I've had stronger mouthwash.
It's like a vodka. Did it sneak up on you?
No, it's like it was water.
Oh, that's not good. No.
Every gin I've had tasted like I was drinking a pine cone.
That's the way it's supposed to taste.
Uh,
This tasted like I just ran some tap water,
Yeah,
dropped a lime in it.
it should have a taste of juniper just a little bit, but not much. You know.
Carl, are you aware of the club that Benny's Beverage Depot has where they send you different alcohols every month? You have to buy so much alcohol off of them a year to even enter to become a member of this club.
considering what I spent the
I
last
didn't know
Accepted?
if you heard about it.
Well, we have one of the Benny's cards that supposedly gives you discounts. I don't know that I've gotten discounts before, but because we buy.
Yeah,
cigars.
I think you have to spend $500 or more a year to be in the club. And my friend is in it. The reason why I asked you, he's in it, and there was he was complaining because Laura no longer works there at Benny, so She can't give him heads up on certain products that he enjoys when they get it back in stock. But one of the whiskeys that he got, and I've been sitting here trying to think of the name of it, and being the teetotaler I am, I don't remember. But he was complaining, and I said, "Why didn't you like the taste of it?" And he goes, "No, it tastes great." He said, "But the label looked like a generic label that somebody printed up off of their computer." So he was pissed about that. And he spent like $30-some on this little tiny bottle of whatever it was.
Oh,
And he showed me a picture of it, and it did look like that.
They have craft
Yeah,
beers. I wonder if they have craft whiskeys.
Probably.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah,
they
this was some sort
buy from
of
local distilleries.
whiskey or something.
sounds like it
Yeah.
was more of a half craft.
Oh no, we lost Cecily. She was just about ready to play too.
Oh,
Yeah.
well.
Craft whiskey is a thing now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Gatlinburg's
Yeah,
got a
no,
couple.
this is a
couple of-
name brand, but I just, like I say, I don't know the brands that well, so I couldn't remember it.
One of the best whiskeys, bourbons that I've ever found was Donna is the one that Peggy got me when I retired. Woodford Reserve.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it's very good. They had a special edition come out for the Kentucky Derby, and they were charging $20 more per bottle. And I see it on the clearance shelf at Meijer every week. It gets a little cheaper and a little cheaper, and as soon as it gets to be the same price as their regular, I'll try some. But I'm not going to spend extra just because it has a stupid label that says Kentucky Derby on it.
Mm-hmm. And Thessaly messages to say that her Wi-Fi dropped out.
Oh no!
Yep. So maybe she'll be back.
Yeah.
I, however, have to go down the hall.
There's another reserve bourbon that supposedly, when the people come in to buy it, the boxes that they actually come in. Laura told me when she worked at Benny's that they were told to take the boxes in the back, break them down, cut them up, and to put them in the cardboard recycler. They were not allowed to give away the boxes or sell them or anything. And
people were wanting
it
them?
was, yeah, well, like I guess for their collection or whatever, you know. And
come see my
friend, he
of
buys
whiskey.
it just to stock his bar.
Come see my collection of whiskey boxes and whatever, you know.
Yeah, and I thought, well, a box that an individual bottle would come in, no, it'd be about like 4 or 6 bottles would come in, like a case box, and that's what these people are wanting on just on certain ones. But yeah, they and I think it's a manufacturer thing to where they say you're not allowed to give these away. I don't know if they think somebody's going to pull some shady switcheroo or something and put some cheap whiskey in a box so that these people's brand is on, or what the reason is. But
that's weird.
I thought it was rather odd.
Well, people collect the strangest things. When I was in college, I rented a room in the house, you know, and so everybody shared the same refrigerator, and we had a bathroom on the second floor and a bathroom on the first floor that you had to share with people. But there was one apartment that was never rented out. Now I thought, well, okay. And it was right across the hall from my room I rented. And the guy had his beer can collection in there. And he'd go in every once in a while and you'd hear all these beer cans falling over. What the hell, dude? But he collected empty beer cans for some reason, and I don't know Did he ever show you
Must have been
anybody?
the 70s.
Yeah, it was.
At one
My
time,
brother was like that.
I had a collection of different import beers that were available in the Athens, Georgia area, and took up fairly decent sized shelf actually.
Mhm.
And then I had to move out of a big house where one of the garage bands was pretty much using for a studio, and I looked at it and I go, yeah, okay. If I had been able to soak the labels off of them and put them in a, press them to a notebook page or something, and
Mhm.
had a collection of the different labels of all the import beers that I had sampled, that'd be
Mhm.
great. But I do not have room for
Right.
a refrigerator sized shelf of empty beer bottles.
Right. Yeah.
So
I
my
saw
dad helped me take them out, and we put them in a dumpster.
I saw where one of those organizing people, that go on YouTube and tell you how to organize your shit stuff. Um, she said to take pictures of everything. So if you had a T-shirt collection, to take pictures of the T-shirts and then donate them somewhere, and then you have a picture of them. It's not the same as collecting them, but you do still have that collection. You still have the memory of the T-shirt or whatever it was, and that's that's how I do stuff now. Sometimes if I think about it, I do have some cigar boxes up here just for show.
Some
I give away a lot of them because I don't want to keep a bunch
Heard
of
that, Donna.
freaking cigar boxes. Why?
Are they cardboard or wood or a mix of?
The ones I keep are the wood ones that I put up here. I've got a couple cardboard, but most of these are wooden, and they look nice, so that's why I keep a couple of them. But the cardboard ones I give away as soon as possible. And oh, he's got one there. Yeah, people like them for.
Oh,
Check
yeah.
yourself. Check yourself and see whether or not you've got one missing there, Carl.
No, I may have given one to Bill.
Well, when I was over for Donna's birthday party, I think you were going to, and I walked out without one. This is one I got from Laura at Benny's,
Okay.
which it's got the little. I don't even know what's in it. Oh, I got Star Trek crap in it.
There you go. Yeah,
But
organizing stuff.
But it's got a nice little label on the back. It says factory number 408, District of PA, whatever that means. Trying to see if I can find the name of the cigars that were in this, but it doesn't really say.
Oh, okay.
But it's a very nice box, and and I definitely use it.
Yeah.
All right.
Not the green room.
The block is wearing off, so I need to medicate and go lay down. So, have a great night, y'all.
Okay.
See you, Rich.
Good night, Rich.
Good night, Rich.
Feel better
Good night.
soon.
Okay.
Now, my wife got me a box of fancy chocolate candy. It was a wooden box with little dividers inside and the entire
Nice.
assortment in it.
Nice.
I still have that box, but haven't put anything else in it. It's got nice little artwork on the lid and everything, and inside, wood burned on the inside is what each little chamber in the dividers was the candy it was supposed to hold. And I milked that for as long as I could. I ate that candy the slowest of any candy that I have ever had in my life. This was not like a box of Halloween stuff that I got that was only lasted 2 days.
Right.
No, this I tried to make it last for several months, and I succeeded. But each selection inside was in its own sealed paper bag. So, oh, it was fancy as all get out. I don't know where she found it, but I just absolutely love it.
Your wife is a treasure. You know that?
Yes, she is.
I'm not opening that one for a while.
What did you do, Joe?
I dropped it.
Whoa!
That one being a carbonated one, I assume.
Yeah. I found
Mm,
a video. I love it.
oh dear. What
Hmm.
did you do?
It's a
Here we go.
cat.
Okay.
It's a kitty cat singing.
Oh no.
Probably
Okay.
got a better voice than I do.
He's not singing anything by Rick Astley, is he?
I don't know.
See, the great part is with being on my phone doing this, I have to tap to unmute when you do crap like that. So I didn't have to hear it.
That's all right. It was just meow. Get me out of here. Call my agent. Meow.
Mm-hmm.
I did that just for you, Carl.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Kiri is desperately watching this for more reasons to try and get you back.
Oh yeah.
That was not me.
There will be.
You
That
played
was
it.
that was Jimmy. That was Jimmy that did that.
Who's Jimmy?
Mike Jimmy.
Oh,
Jimmy did
okay.
Yeah.
Shame on him. I'll talk
He
to that.
rickrolled Kiri?
Yeah.
Because I did too the other day in the chat.
Or was that you that did it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Mike Jimmy that liked it. That's right. It was you. Okay, yeah. See, Carl, you was getting your Joes confused.
Do we need to have Nick do another diagram of Joe's?
There will be a GIF for that later.
Uh-oh.
It was so dark. There were so many.
Oh crap! I forgot.
Here we go again.
Now I got to figure out what to get rid of. I got so much stuff.
He forgot what he forgot.
So we're talking about collecting things, and Joe collects GIFs and funny things, and he's lost track of how much he's collected.
Yep.
Did you finally run out of storage space for
Little
rim
video
shots and whatnot? Video
Yep.
clips and
Yep.
Mm.
Man.
Oh, and you and I were supposed to talk about something too, weren't we?
Yeah. We got plenty of time.
Okay, was it what I think it is?
Well, it's what we discussed
Okay, so what I thought it was, yeah.
about the future of the channel.
All right. Well, the offer is still open.
All right. Well, shit. I got to find it now. Oh, there it is. Okay.
The future of the channel. Joe Dog's going, why did you give Dawn that link? Get her the hell out.
No, it's nothing like that. I can promise you, sweetheart.
Sure.
Okay. I can put it somewhere else. Awesome.
That's what she said.
Oh my.
The green room, but I was thinking it.
I'm not touching it.
That's not that bad a thing.
That's not what she said, Carl.
That's not what you said last night.
Was that last night? I thought that was this afternoon.
Too much gin then, too.
Wow. No, I'm not going to say it with Donna around. Nope. Can't say it.
Go ahead, I dare you.
Nope.
Which Donna?
Either.
I'm wondering if your Donna has found you watching that yoga video.
Nope.
Oh, good. Obviously,
That's the door to the office is for.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Oh, Carl, have you had a chance to check out that lady that does the narrowboat videos that I recommended to you?
I did. Oh, okay. Here we go.
The other one won't work. You need to lower the bit rate to 3 instead of 20.
Oh,
Is the other one mine?
probably.
Do you have a bit rate?
Yeah.
Not that I know of, but okay.
No, but she has. No, never mind.
My gifts are
Thank
just
you for self-editing, Bill. Thank you. I could just read that across your forehead.
my
That
gifts.
would have been tragic because she'd have reached through the computer and choked the living heck out of you.
My gifs are just too
No,
big.
she would have loved it, but
Yeah.
I didn't give it to read the whole thing.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Remember, I said I had my eyes dilated. It takes me a minute to.
She's running behind and reading.
I'll be
Yeah.
right back.
Oh, don't try.
Threats will get you nowhere.
Tornado warnings in Oklahoma and Mississippi.
Oh no.
Now we know where Joe Dog was eating the pickled eggs.
Mm-hmm.
so
Must
did
have
anybody
been-
see
must have been a road
Starlink
trip.
flying across
No
the
what?
sky?
No wonder he was
Oh,
in the truck. Hey,
Saw a picture of
Starlink better watch. They're going to get shot down if they get too low.
Yeah.
They, my little sister took pictures, put it on Facebook, and it looked fairly. It looked like somebody took a silver marker and just streaked it across the sky.
Yeah.
About 15 minutes ago, a huge asteroid came within about 8 to 12 times the distance of the moon from Earth, which is as close as it's going to be, hopefully, for the next 100 years when it has a chance of making us regret everything that we've ever done. Or
Well, Monday, France had one fly over. They
yeah.
They had like a 3-hour notice.
Yeah, but this one was about. Well, let's just say it was big enough to give the dinosaurs a headache if it wasn't big enough to exterminate them. But
There we go.
I stopped counting at 4.
You know, I caught a news story where it had actual photographs of the damn thing last time it went through, and there was one time in my life when I had to do for a book cover, basically a pseudo book cover because it was online, an asteroid that threatened to hit the Earth. And I looked at these photographs of the real asteroid and I go, I'm pretty good, because I had it about somewhere in the vicinity of 85 to 90% correct as to what one would look like when it was headed straight down our throats.
Yeah.
So this thing.
You know what it looks like to have a rock hurled at your face.
And just think, this has been happening throughout history. Throughout all the time we've been here, these things have been coming down and, streaking through the sky, and people go, oh, look, a shooting star. And they didn't know how close they came, maybe. But, now that we have the news media telling us and, all the internet sources, now we can, cower in fear for
there's one British newspaper and website that I swear they just change the name of the darn thing every week because it's always huge asteroid about to hit the Earth and then it goes, yeah, well, it's only twice as far as Venus is.
Yeah, if that's hitting the Earth, then Mars nearly hits us all the time.
Oh well, there's another.
I say
I gotta behave.
Hello, Miss Donna.
Does he know how to behave?
Yes,
thank God Donna's not here.
It's your place to teach him.
Oops.
Oh, he didn't like that.
He's out.
I'm surprised he didn't boot me out of the room.
Okay, I'm back. I'm wearing Aunt Donna's shirt tonight.
I love that shirt. I do have to admit that.
Yeah.
Now, all those news reports, I'm going to ignore them until I see Henry Bemis going down into the safe with a book. And then by
Mhm.
that time, I think we can kiss our butts goodbye.
Yeah. There
I
was
don't know.
one the other day that said asteroid hits Earth. Well, and then if you read the article, it was asteroid hits the Earth's atmosphere and burns up. It was about the size of a soccer ball or something, and it's like, yeah,
Yeah.
okay, big
Yeah,
deal.
that
Yeah.
was the clickbait to get you to click on
Exactly.
it so they can
Oh
get
yeah.
paid for all their
The
ads that are on there.
sensationalism has just gotten
And
out of hand. It really
Oh,
has.
and today was the anniversary of that one that exploded over.
Oh,
Augusta?
No,
Chelyabinsk.
no, that's the one. Yeah,
Yeah,
I don't know how to say it, but it's a place in Russia,
I guessed
and
Chelyabinsk.
the
that,
airburst from that one shattered windows for quite a
Mhm.
ways around. Not huge, but a respectable amount of noise came out of it when it finally broke into little teeny tiny pieces and went boom. Well, it didn't go
what
boom. It
they
went.
have now will just make the fishing good.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, I don't know. I don't know what the fishing is like in Russia. Um, that went over France was it was really pretty, and some
Mm-hmm.
people had some sound recordings. So it was a bit loud for where they were, but there was
Yeah.
nothing like shattering glass for
Uh,
uh, square miles around.
when
So
when we go through those meteor showers, those are interesting. If you've ever watched one of those,
mhm.
we sat out one fall, I think it was, my neighbor and I, and we were teenagers. We were sitting out on their lawn chairs, and he brought out some of his dad's brandy, and we were having brandy and watching the meteors go by, and it was like, this is kind of fun. And we actually heard a few of them. They went as they were burning
Mhm.
up. It was very interesting, especially
I've
with
se-
brandy in it.
That
I've
was the
seen
kids in the next yard shooting bottle rockets at you, Carl.
It could have been. It was cool.
I've seen several in my lifetime, and I was old enough to know what they were, but I thought, oh, that's pretty. That's got to be way on up there, but it looks awfully big,
Yeah.
and just kind of green fireball went
Hmm.
poof,
Yeah.
and
I think the Perseids that happen in August because it's just the weather is just more
Hmm.
acceptable
Mhm.
as opposed to going to seeing the Leonids or any of the others. But we laid out literally on our backs on the ground. We took made a picnic out on the lawn that night, and I had my daughters and my wife out there, and we woke the daughters up at the peak, which was like around 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, you just lay there and it looks like fireworks going. It starts off slow, but then you're seeing something flying across the sky every 10, 15 seconds there for a while. That it's very, very cool.
yeah, I
Mhm.
actually went out one year with I had a big piece of cardboard that I had got from work, so I made myself something to block all the security lights on the other farms nearby.
Mm.
Turned off all my outside lights and everything. I had this refrigerator size box out in the yard where I could look through at the basically the center point where the
Mhm.
meteor shower was coming from, and I could see a whole lot more because I gave myself time for my eyes to get adjusted to the lack of light and had all the incoming light from the other farms nearby. All
Oh,
their security lights had blocked off, and it was pretty neat. It was all. I wouldn't say it was like um, the hyperdrive scene in Star Wars, the first one, but
close though.
it it got close there a couple of times. There were several every minute.
Hmm.
Very very pretty. You had to have something to block all the ambient light so that your eyes had time to get adjusted. Even though I'm
Hi,
out in the
Daddy.
middle of nowhere. Oh, now you got to behave.
Yep.
Does this mean that I get
He's
to put
getting
my
it from
devil
both
horns
ends.
on?
Not touching that line.
What, both ends or devil horns?
Well,
Well,
my
you can
dad's
put
here.
both of those lines together and make it even more interesting. But
Oh,
Bill, you're making
no,
it
there's
sound
so
like a
much
party in
light pollution.
California.
and Dawn, if you look in the private chat, there's a link to 2 different shirts.
Carl,
Hmm.
there's a shirt there for you.
Oh.
Yeah, it says I'm social distancing. Back off.
There you go. I like that. I was into
I-
social distancing before we had to do it.
I need one of those as a bumper sticker on my car for Atlanta traffic.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I must have been forgiven for the visit today because I've got a sweet purring Calvin on my lap.
That's nice.
Aw.
I haven't been forgiven yet.
No.
Nope.
What'd you do? Take him to the vets?
Yep. He had to get his what was it? Parvo and rabies
Distemper shot. Yeah.
distemper, whatever
Combo.
inoculation.
Cat's gonna get parvo?
It was a distemper, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Distemper, feline leukemia, the
Yeah.
combo
Yeah.
shot.
And then
I'm way too
I had
familiar
them-
with those things.
I had them trim his front claws, which he was not happy about.
Actually,
yeah.
he
I
behaved rather well.
I tried that yesterday.
He behaved pretty well. Yeah.
Ours didn't.
You tried to do it yourself?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would not try to do it myself, but he was scared enough of the vet people that he let them do it. He's like, okay. And
One of
they-
my friends has 6 cats, and she can get 4 of them done. 2 of them she has to take to the vet.
Yeah, see the back of my hand there with all the red spots?
You know what your aunt said?
She said that was age, but I'll tell you what, there was a cat scratch there, cat scratch there, cat scratch there, and then the rest of that is from Band-Aids. I'm allergic to the adhesive, I guess. So yeah, I broke out from the Band-Aid. So thank you very much, Meyer Band-Aids.
Well,
Meyer
that-
has just
You gotta
been
use
obtaining
the
more.
liquid ones.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do something.
this
well,
is for
they get real Band-Aids.
this is for Carl, Donna, and Bill. Y'all
Oh.
have to watch The Masked Singer from tonight.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
I never watch that show unless Donna makes me.
I haven't watched it for the last couple of seasons.
Tonight's worth watching.
Mm.
I even teared up when they revealed who one of them was.
Mm.
And you can only need to watch the first half.
Does anybody ever watch Call Me Cat?
I've wanted to, but I haven't watched. I don't watch much TV.
Yeah. About-
It's pretty funny. But that's who Leslie
Jordan.
was on.
Mhm.
I just watched the last 2 episodes that they dealt with having him leave the show.
Mm.
And I dare anyone to watch this, particularly the last one, without tearing up.
Oh, great. I haven't watched those yet.
Was the one where they kind of said their goodbyes.
They gave Phil a happy ending.
Mm.
The drag queen that he was in love with, they went off to Tahiti for vacation and saw a little bakery for sale, so they decided to buy the bakery and stay there.
Mm.
And guess what?
Sounds like a sitcom.
And guess where
Start the
Leslie
bakery.
Jordan? Guess where Leslie Jordan is from?
Chattanooga.
Yep.
Yeah. I thought he was.
Yeah.
Yeah. I knew it was somewhere in Tennessee.
They had a big memorial service for him here.
Mm. That's
He
cool.
was
Laura's hooked
much
on
fun.
watching 90 Day Fiance
Oh, no.
on TLC, I think it is. And they have like 2 other shows about it afterwards, but it's about people who marry people so they can come into the country legally and how soon they get divorced, and
Mm-hmm.
some that stay together and all that nonsense.
Donna's favorite is Married at First Sight.
Oh my God.
You need to spend time with people at least 3 months.
Yeah.
At least 3 minutes.
No.
At least 16 years.
Oh no.
Well, 3 months has got me 35 years.
Yeah.
To life.
Yeah.
Well, we've lasted how many? 33?
35.
30. What?
Y'all got married about the same time we did, Carl.
How did this woman get in my house? I'd like to know.
I don't know, but you seem to be in the habit of taking long naps, Mr. Van Winkle.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
married?
not going to
22
touch that
years
one
for
because
me.
I really want to make a green room comment on that.
We married on my 31st birthday, and I am 66 years old.
Boy. Wow. Okay. Well, 35 years then. We made it to Joe Dog status. Man.
We had a special celebration for 35 years. How did you... Oh, shit.
I'm poking.
Gin.
Yeah.
Gin. Remember Donna? Gin.
I don't know, but I was really drunk at the time.
Poking at you.
Well, I'll tell you,
Well, maybe come back there.
every time I look at my wife, I get heart
Threaten us with a good
palpitations,
time.
So,
butterflies in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Some people just say it's love. I'll be honest with you, it's fear.
Mm-hmm.
Amen.
That's sanity right there on your part, Joe.
Hey, Donna.
Yeah.
Joe hasn't said anything
Tell-
for an hour, and all of a sudden he gets an amen.
Yeah. Tell Joe your joke that you heard about the donkey.
Oh. His farmer's wife was a big nag, and he would escape out to the field to get away from her. Well, she brought him lunch one day, and as he was eating, she started nagging, and his donkey couldn't take it anymore, kicked her in the head and killed her. Well, at the funeral, the preacher noticed that when the farmer talked to women, he would be nodding his head, but when he talked to the men, he'd be shaking his head. And after everybody left, preacher goes over and says, "Sorry for being nosy, but I noticed you nod your head when you're talking to the women, but you shake your head when you're talking to the men. Why?" And he says, "Well, the women are going, oh, she looks so nice and peaceful, so I nod in agreement. But the men were asking if I'd sell my donkey."
Well,
What an ass.
That's pretty much what the men were saying. Yep.
well, the other day
Whoa, look at Joe. He's got his hard hat on.
The road. He's ready to go.
the other day when we went to take the cats to get fixed. That was over in Sequatchie County. That ought to tell you enough right there with the name.
Mm-hmm.
We passed this farm, and there was a bunch of donkeys out in the field, and I said, "Is that some of your family?" My wife looked over and goes, "Yeah, by marriage."
That one's as old as we are, Joe.
Yeah, but
Wait a minute. Where did you find that one, Dan? I've been looking for that one.
That's what she said.
Use the force, Luke.
Or did you? Oh, did you swipe it from? Is it over on your page?
I don't know, but it should be. It comes in handy.
And in other news, in Indiana, they've
Oh,
almost
there it is.
reached the center of the earth.
Dig what?
They've almost reached the center of the earth in their dig in Indiana. More news as it comes.
Hey, I'm jazzed because they're going to legalize throwing stars again in Indiana.
Oh my! Well,
Oh, I know what Joe's got dealing with right there. I hate vac trucks. Is it?
So I
Is it?
imagine it's probably a lot noisier right now.
Is that a VacCon?
Yeah, it's the back truck. They're going through and cleaning out the inlets that maintenance is supposed to and has not been for the last several years.
Ooh,
Yeah,
that doesn't sound good.
yeah.
Some of
yeah,
these have trees growing out of them.
yeah. That's a sign that they may need a little attention. All right, he's getting back in the truck now.
I'm just not used to the
Baldness.
Joe look.
Yeah, wait. Yeah, I just realized he shaved his head.
Nearly. Yeah.
His head, his face. Yeah, he's bald all over.
How do you know, Aunt Donna?
Well, see, last time I
I have my ways.
got a shave and a haircut like this, I met a buddy of mine for breakfast the next day. I hop out of the truck, he looks right at me and goes, "Oh, so that's what Chewbacca's dick looks like shaved."
Wow.
Gotta love friends.
Sorry, that's funny.
Good night, everybody.
Around the clock.
Wow.
My God. People are damn morons.
This is supposed to be news.
Well,
Joe, did you see that on the news the other day? Somebody had, I believe it was a Tesla that has all the cameras around it.
Mm-hmm.
They pulled up to construction site, and the guy was holding up the stop sign. Car went around the Tesla, through the construction zone, about hit the guy with the stop sign, drove all the way down, and cars coming the other way, so he drove up through yards to get around them.
Well, see, right now we're in between two exits, and we have basically we got the right shoulder and the
Slow
lane. Yeah, the slow lane and the lane that runs between the two exits, because these exits are so close through here that they just don't, the lanes don't end through this section. So we've got that lane shut down. So the people coming to merge on the 94 are having to merge in with traffic sooner. And these idiots, instead of, yielding like they're supposed to, kind of like how the sign says that we have out there, half of them are just pulling straight out in front of semis. Some of them are coming to a dead stop, which they kind of have to because there's no break in traffic for them to get in with.
Wow. Yeah.
And others are just going, screw it, I'll go behind the barrels.
Shit.
Joe, for a minute there, I didn't think you said that you were between two exits. I thought you said you were between T-Rexes.
T-Rexes.
You had me worried.
They had the little arms.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Hey.
sounded a bit like that. Yeah.
Carl, do you know why T-Rexes don't clap?
Because they're dead.
Yeah.
I'm here all night.
Tip your way.
I thought it was
Until the
just
gin
they had
tells
no
him he's
sense
done
of
for the night.
humor. But
Since Rich isn't here, I'll just go ahead and say it. We're still waiting on that good joke.
yeah.
Oh. Now, the thing that I'm thinking is tomorrow night's show has got to try to top this one.
No, it doesn't. Friday night show got to try and top this one.
Friday night show, you got to remember the green room. It's going to have BK and Michaela and I in the same actual room, probably.
Ooh.
Good
least for
night,
a while.
everybody.
Friday night?
Goody goody.
Because
Don't threaten me with a good
That's
time.
why I'll be at the auction.
I guess you guys are staying in a hotel or something?
Well, me and Mikhail are. I think I don't know what's going on with Brian Fisher, but still, yeah. Well, yeah, we're.
Something about a YMCA, wasn't it?
Well, it's
For
be rather cold to stay in Calgon.
Yeah.
It's still getting pretty chilly of a night.
Yeah. That's what I'm wondering. Yeah.
And now the challenge
You
I
know,
am presented with is downloading both halves of this show and splicing them together.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
Nah, I just put the full recording of the first half and the gap where Joe Dog tried to reschedule the show we were actually doing instead of making
Yeah.
a brand new one.
There you go.
Will just be, well, I don't know what I'll do for a transition sort of scene in there, but
I'm sure there's a free use technical difficulties little thing you could throw in.
Yeah.
yeah, I think I'll have to do. I will get creative.
oh God, Bean's
Okay.
getting creative. Make sure you take pictures.
Yeah.
Hey, did you see Donna's eyebrows go up? I'm impressed.
Or you could always get one of Grumpy Uncle Carl's new gifts.
Ain't no telling. We'll see. We'll see. I have access to lots of questionable material that Uncle Carl's got nothing to do with.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure you'll find some way to do it. Yeah.
Hey, if I got to put Betty Page dancing in a bikini in there, I'll do it.
Ooh, I may have to rewatch.
That'd be okay.
Yes,
I didn't know she wore clothes.
Aunt Donna,
yes.
Carl outed you today. Said you don't watch the replays, so they were saying lots of things about you this morning. Not really, but
Outed me for what?
Oh, I was teasing during Nick's show. The guy from UPS showed up with some cigars
God,
Here?
here, and I
And you
said,
didn't.
and I've got some open already. I had one out for you, but I smoked it. But anyway, but
sorry about that, guys.
I had made the comment that I had secret cigars now that Donna can't mooch off of me. And Nick was like, "Oh, wait till she watches the show." I said, "No, she won't rewatch. Sorry, if she misses it live, she won't rewatch it."
But I have good friends like Don that would tell on you, right, Don?
You want to come over and get a brick? Yeah,
She gone.
I know her. Do I know her or what?
Hey, sorry about dropping out like that. Cats unplugged the router.
Oh,
Mm.
darn cats!
Yeah, you got to feed them every once in a while.
Here it is.
we got lucky tonight. She was actually sitting at the top of the tower, and usually when she jumps down, my phone goes flying, and it didn't tonight,
Is that all?
which was weird.
What? That's all I got.
Oh,
Uh-huh.
And I only get one?
it's one of those. I'm not looking.
Look at this. See this? Yeah. You see what I put up with? She's mooching cigars off of me here already. There we go.
No.
Thank you.
Oh, that's so
Aw.
sweet.
You know what? With all the hate in this world, it's nice to see a good relationship.
Yes.
Let me figure out how to do this. Okay.
Yeah.
What did I do? There we go. All right.
Well, 2 cigars, that's cheap. So, it's not too bad. Not like she came over and stole my rum.
Yeah.
Now, if she holds up a bottle of rum, I'm gonna fall out laughing.
She's probably got her own over there.
My own what?
Hold up a bottle of rum, Aunt Donna. If you have rum, hold it up right now.
Nope.
Oh,
She's just got her fired.
Fireball.
Plus,
She's got
Furball.
cigars.
and some silly man wanted to see what they would smell like, opened it up and went,
Yeah.
and then complained about how strong it was. And I'm sitting here thinking, it smelled
It
10,
smells like
10 Fireball cigars
yeah.
when you should have just taken one out of the box and sniffed it.
That's what she said.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Careful what you sniff.
Mm-hmm.
Especially after you
Dan?
take it out. Never mind. I'm going to get in trouble from Joe Dog.
That's like
Well,
holding
what?
out a box of candy and offering somebody a piece of candy, and then they root their hands around in every piece and then pull out one piece.
Dan, got a story I need you to read.
This never ends well.
Yeah.
You're in trouble now.
Oh, if you hear a big bang,
Mm-hmm.
Calvin was sitting.
I was never anywhere
innocently-
near there.
Calvin was sitting innocently by the recycling stuff.
Oh, okay. I'm sure.
Innocent.
Even Dan's in shock from that headline.
Yeah. Innocent. Yeah.
Well, don't you
All
just love
cats
it?
are innocent.
You come up on them and they give you this look like, I'm not doing nothing.
It was time for him to go to the vet. Okay. A little early, but okay. It was about time. So I said, I'm going to go find him so we know where he is. Can't find
Joe
him.
Dog, you want me to read that one out loud?
Yeah, I just.
No, I mean seriously. Do you want me to read it out loud?
I think it's absolutely hilarious.
Yes, but
Yeah, the maker of Fireball is in a lawsuit.
Oh, I did hear about that.
Oh, my.
a civil lawsuit filed in federal court alleges Fireball mini bottles do not actually contain any whiskey, as the label says. The label on Fireball sold at liquor stores says whiskey with natural cinnamon flavor. The subject of the class action lawsuit, which was filed in Illinois, is that the mini bottles sold at gas stations and markets.
Oh, okay. Uh-huh.
What consumers were purchasing at non-liquor stores is not whiskey at all, even though the labels on the mini bottles are almost identical, the lawsuit alleges. The lawsuit says labels on the Fireball mini bottles, which can be purchased for 99 cents, say that they contain natural whiskey flavors and other flavors, but in reality, they don't.
So
the labels on the mini bottles are nearly indistinguishable from liquor store Fireball labels, except they say Fireball Cinnamon with no mention of whiskey because it's a malt beverage with whiskey flavor. The lawsuit accuses the company of intentionally misleading customers into believing they are buying small bottles of Fireball Cinnamon whiskey, and said the plaintiff paid more than she should have on a product she thought contained actual whiskey. Defendant knew the product attributes that potential customers like. Plaintiff were seeking and developed its marketing and labeling to directly meet their needs and desires, which was the consumption of distilled spirits instead of a malt beverage. So basically, they've been selling cinnamon flavored
beer.
Well,
10,000 teenagers and ne'er-do-wells now are going to take to the street and protest and pillage and rape and loot stores and everything
I have
else.
actually seen those at the gas stations.
You don't have to see them at the gas stations around here. You just look on the sidewalks and the parking lots and the grass everywhere, because that's what they do. They do this and then they do this.
Well,
Trash
Donna
cans are
doesn't
so
need to
easily
worry
available.
because she's never gotten a small bottle of Fireball.
That's
And now she knows not to.
yeah. This is the smallest bottle I get.
That doesn't look like a 55-gallon drum.
We keep that elsewhere. We
No.
pump it out. We pump it
And
out
then
and
we
refill the jar.
refill it. Yeah.
Oh.
I wish I could find the story on the guy that got his Jack Daniels collection taken by the ATF.
Oh. Is Jack Daniels
collection? His collection of barrels.
Oh.
Ooh.
Oh. Did they think he was going to make his own and put them in those barrels?
They were full barrels.
Oh.
Distributing without a license, maybe.
Something like that. But he had several bottles of clear Jack Daniels, unaged Jack Daniels.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
With the years marked on them.
Okay.
Long story short, he was pissed, and Jack Daniels had records of his purchases.
So they will either be returning or refunding eventually, and after.
Knowing the ATF, they've already punched holes in them and poured them down a sewer. Yeah.
Okay, you guys haven't even brought
As
this
Barney
sad
would
news
say,
up
bam, bam, bam.
Say what, Dawn?
You guys haven't even brought up the sad news today.
What?
That Raquel Welch died.
Yeah.
Huh?
We don't want no sad news.
I saw a bunch of pictures. I didn't catch that. Dad, dang it.
She's 82.
Yep.
Well, we sure could use a little good news today.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, okay. Well, I'll tell you. Dick Van Dyke was on The Masked Singer tonight.
Was he?
Yeah.
Okay, that might be worth watching that.
Yeah.
You'll have to go back and
And well, the thing is, after the unmasking, he came out saying supercalifragilistic and did the dance.
He's still right. He's still in the gym every freaking day.
About 4 days ago, and you can look this up on his YouTube channel, he reread
and Bill
what a time for him to freeze up.
Joe had to cut.
Now it's coming back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, he read what, Bill? He reread what?
No.
He froze again. Oh, well.
It's been more than about 4 days ago. It's been like 3 or 4 weeks ago. He reread the speech. I forget who wrote it now. Oh, Rod Sterling. Sterling wrote for him to read at one of the rallies with Dr. King.
Oh. Okay, I remember seeing that, but I didn't watch it. I saw it pass through my YouTubes. And I sadly can't watch everything.
Yeah, there's Bill. I think.
Okay, sorry about that. My Wi-Fi's wonky still. About what he read on YouTube.
Yeah, for that Rod Sterling wrote.
Rod Serling, yeah. Wasn't that great?
Yeah.
Now, a lot of people know that Rod Serling was a very good advocate for civil rights. He was very staunch about that.
Yeah, and such a good writer that his
Well, and the
stuff still
thing
holds
about it
up
was
today.
the speech wasn't really a political speech per se.
Right.
When he had Dick Van Dyke read it in 1964, it was just about everybody getting together, not putting white people over black people or black people over white people or yellow people or red people or anything that but yeah, get on YouTube, watch it. It's about 8 minutes, maybe 9 minutes long, but just Dick Van Dyke reading it on there, and you could still tell the can't explain it, but just in his voice, the passion, I guess, more than anything else, that in his voice when he read it again.
Well, equality is part of our country, and it shouldn't be a political thing anyway. It should be just done.
Yeah, it should be natural.
Mm-hmm. And people that make it a political thing are trying to get in the way of it. So.
Oh. Yeah. Carl, when I said I don't want to open that just yet.
Mm-hmm.
Can you hear it?
I heard something thunk.
Yeah, that's.
Oh, you're opening your pop over there with a crescent wrench.
No, I'm just thumping the side of it.
Oh, okay. That'll help.
I mean, it's that hard. I mean, it's that. I mean, it doesn't squeeze. It's highly pressurized.
You're going to have to call Elon for the equipment to pump that overpressurized tank out.
Bless you.
So, I don't know if
Joe Dog's doing his Yahoo Mountain Dew hillbilly bit.
I don't know if you guys saw a little bit ago when I switched to my back camera and was showing all the cops over here by our job site.
Yeah.
Apparently, they are searching for somebody.
Oh.
Because the state cop that was behind me before, he took off like a bat out of hell, and we came down to this next exit. And I'm like, man, somebody done screwed up. They got 4 cops up top there. And then I noticed our Stady was sitting on the shoulder by the ramp. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I see these silhouettes coming down. I can see a dog on a leash. I'm like, oh, somebody done screwed up.
Oh.
They done got the dog out.
Yeah.
Oh, they got the helicopter out.
I bet they're looking for drugs, Joe. Put your drugs away, Joe.
They're looking for somebody because they even got the helicopter out.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the man.
Yeah, well,
there.
I messed up. I said the dog. I meant they've got the fur missile loaded.
Yeah.
Bring out the werewolf.
Yeah. Speaking of fur missiles, I will be awakened at 3 a.m. again tomorrow. So I'm going to head out right now, folks.
Good night,
Good night,
boy.
Carl.
Good night, Carl. Have a good one.
You too.
Yeah, my Wi-Fi the way it is, I might as well just get out too. But hopefully it'll be okay tomorrow night. But we'll see. And
for a minute there, Bill, I thought you said with my wife the way it is.
That's been a while. Once upon a time, I probably would have, but
yeah, that's kind of ancient history.
Okay, so I just read this line, and I'm going to give Tyler, not Gregson, credit for it. I promise to plant kisses like seeds on your body, so in time you can grow to love yourself as I love you. Ooh, that's spicy.
Okay.
That's stalkery. Yeah.
Oh, I can't take those.
Cue up the police song every breath you take.
Yeah, that tonight's episode is not available to watch just yet.
I'll bet it'll be up tomorrow night, Donna.
Probably.
Usually
They,
about
they
6
usually
a.m.
wait
is when
24
they.
hours.
It's
Or I
usually
could
about
probably
6
go
a.m.
on TV too and catch it.
How far in the first half was it, Joe?
It's the first half. The actual reveal is pretty much bottom of the hour.
Oh, okay. Different
Okay.
That's what
Well, we'll
got
get
moved
out of
fast
here.
forward this year.
Have a good night, Bill.
Night, Bill.
I'll see you guys tomorrow night. Bye-bye.
All right.
Good night.
Bye-bye. Yeah, I don't know whether I want to piece the two halves of this show together or not.
Well,
Not
I didn't
because,
come on till the second half, so the first half doesn't count. I'm teasing.
well, no, not because there's anything wrong with either one. It's just I'm going,
The work.
it was so much fun live, and people that were watching, that's fine. They should have that experience and not have it sullied with a spliced together replay of what would, because it was totally spontaneous, and we
Yeah.
just
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just thought, well, shit. It's well, I'll just clear it out. I'm going. It's not clearing out. Damn it! Why is it not clearing out?
because we're in the middle of it.
It's Carl's fault because he distracted me from solving the problem.
Oh, but we had already solved the problem. We just went ahead with the show.
Yeah. We did a hump day stupid o'clock.
Dan, but the
one for
thing
you,
is,
Joe Dog.
Dan does know how to change the day and time.
Yeah, but it never works when I do it.
And we
Even
kind of were
even
having fun.
even though it's on there and I know how to do it and I've done it before, it always screws up somehow. It really does. I've been trying to do this, and it's like the easiest way, if you catch it in time, is to just go ahead and delete that one and do it all over again from scratch. And there wasn't time to do that. Besides, everybody was excited about, we'll just do it anyway. Na 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 na. So, and so we wind up with this.
Life has to be spontaneous now and then.
Oh, okay. That's what that is. Okay. I saw a new gadget and I couldn't figure out what it was.
Yes.
So I had to play with the button.
Not the green room, not the green room.
You know me, I like pushing buttons.
You just
Mm-hmm.
now noticed that was a button that turned that on and off?
I've never scrolled up that far before.
Again, not the green room. See, Joe Dog, you make it too hard for it to not be the green room.
That's the
When you
point.
you have a twisted mind like mine, and you're gonna like ban me from ever coming on Stupid O'Clock again one of these days.
No, I don't think that's going to be in the cards, sweetheart.
Oh, Don, if they haven't banned me by now, they're not going to ban you.
I'm like a bad penny. I just keep coming back.
And just so y'all know, this is our theme.
Time to do some sketchy shit.
And this is my attitude.
I'm sorry, sweetie. Honey Badger doesn't give a shit.
It's funny that you play that one because the contractor that's out here to do the pumping is actually Badger.
And he's driving a honey wagon.
Now, is it is the back truck made by Badger, or is that the name of the company?
That's the name of the company.
Oh, okay. I know Badger makes one hell of a great all.
No, this is actually the name of the company.
Oh, okay.
But here's one for you, Joe Dog. We're on the interstate. It is all concrete through here.
Yeah.
Why the hell are we finding chunks, like literal chunks of asphalt inside these damn grates? We have not. This section of road has never been asphalt.
He carried it in.
I'll tell you, it's been in there since they built the freaking interstate. Because when they do concrete, they use asphalt. They put their base and they put asphalt in to hold and then concrete on top of the asphalt.
Oh, yeah, they may have done that on the shoulders. That's a good point. Didn't think about that. Because I know like the actual drive lanes, there ain't no asphalt underneath all that. That is concrete down to stone. But I can see the state doing something stupid like that on the shoulders.
Have you been to Illinois?
He's in Indiana.
I know, but has he been to Illinois? People are stupid.
Trust me, I think NDOT and IDOT are in a competition each year to see who can do something dumber.
Well, IDOT is just missing an eye to be called what they really are.
ID 10T code. Hi, Carrie.
Hey, Carrie.
Hello again.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Have fun at ToddCon this weekend.
I will. Don't have a table, so I'm probably just gonna help out with the Chattanooga Comic Con a bit this year.
And you mean Todd's actually invite? Hey, Zach. Okay, person turquoise waving. I don't know.
Well, in the chat on the show, it's a turquoise person waving.
Oh, okay.
So did you like that Rickroll I posted for you, Kiri?
Oh man, I did. I can tell we're gonna have a war of Rickrolls.
Well, I just wanted to see if Joe Dog would get blamed, like if you would just see Joe and just automatically blame him, or if I'd actually catch the blame.
And I did. But Kiri, I got something you can get them back with.
There you go.
I actually unmuted it that time so I could hear it.
Zach never knows what I'm going to throw up on the screen.
Unlike the rest of us who are used to you.
I believe I'd rephrase that, but yeah.
Not the green room, Dan.
Not the green room.
Guys, one of these days,
these boots are gonna walk all over. Oh, never what? Oh, sorry.
No.
Hey,
For the moon, Alice.
Chris goes, the end of civilization is closer than I thought. Yeah, cats are now doing Rick rolls.
Oh.
Oh, I got a question I need to ask Zach. I'll hit you on Discord in a few minutes after the show ends. Show ends in about
6 minutes.
6 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I got some questions.
It's gonna be a short one.
Hey, that was when we were just on our own. Then the principal showed up, and it was detention.
Oh, that was old in-school suspension for me. No. Sorry, I'm in a goofy mood.
And this is different how?
Truth.
Yeah, short one.
Evidently, we're not the only smartasses on the planet.
There's so many smartasses that we have not met yet.
I'm
And
looking forward to each and every one of them. The
we
more
really,
the
we,
merrier.
re- we really need a smartass convention where every single smartass in the planet just congregates into one little space, and we all try to one up each other.
Thought that was Halicon.
Thought that was the green room.
Oh no, I'm not even going to look at that one. Ah.
Oh, shh.
I timed that one perfectly, did I not?
Yep.
No, Doc, how do you really feel?
I feel wonderful.
Oh.
Well, since Launchpad's in here, they're actually looking at a launch date for that big old cigar.
Ooh.
Of course, now that I got to thinking about it, I wonder if the launch, after that thing launched, is if Brownsville, Texas, is going to smell like a huge fart.
Doesn't
Well, you
already.
should know.
I don't know. I've never lit one. I've heard horror stories.
I know there's one town I had to ride through on a motorcycle in Alabama on my way out to Texas. I really regretted riding through that town. It's a big city, too.
The worst city that I've ever driven through, and I've had to do it multiple times, is Austin, Minnesota.
I thought you were going to say Texas, but okay.
No. Austin, Minnesota.
Now, if you are out driving, I would recommend rerouting around Sweetwater, Tennessee, unless you are actually on your way to go to the Lost Sea Cave.
Oh, Bowater's pretty much shut down now. You don't even smell it anymore.
Oh, really?
But
They used to have paper mills out there, and that was...
Austin, Minnesota is where they make spam.
Stench. Oh.
Hey, I have snuck many a fart on 75 at Bowater.
And nobody noticed.
Nope.
It was probably a relief.
Well,
I'm
it was. I
relieved
thought,
after he did it.
because I was about to explode with all them women in the car.
Not the green room.
On a short fuse, Joe? No, it reminds me of the time my dad and I were cleaning out a chicken house for free fertilizer for the wheat field. And Dad let one rip. And I just looked at him and go, okay, at least that smells human. Oh.
Yeah, but spam does not smell good when it's being manufactured.
Most stuff doesn't.
Well, you know when spam is actually cooked?
Once you open the darn thing and put it in a frying
No,
pan.
it's actually cooked in the can.
It's cooked, yeah.
Oh, in the can.
It's
Okay.
already cooked, yeah.
Yeah. Do you know when they cook it?
when you're driving through Austin, Minnesota.
No, after they put it in the can.
Mm-hmm.
They cook it in the can.
And after World War II, they were thinking of the possibility of preparing a second batch.
Yeah, careful
Oh
now.
no, they're still preparing it.
No.
Did you know they have a museum?
We had spam for supper tonight.
Hey,
Really?
I love
We love spam.
I love boiled cabbage and spam gravy. Make you up a good batch of gravy, cube up your spam, fry it up, make some gravy, boil some cabbage, pour it on top.
I think my biggest thing of why I can't eat spam is because of there. You know what I mean? It's just I associate it with, and it's like,
Thank you, Chris.
What I miss?
Just a comment. No big deal. And we've already run 2 hours, folks.
And if you substitute your cabbage for toast, it's a staple in the military. Jingle.
No, it's not.
That's chipped beef.
Yeah, well, you got to fry the spam real good. You almost have to burn the spam.
You have to chop it up real fine too. Yep. Everybody say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
All right, y'all have a good one. Say goodnight, everybody.
See y'all
Good night,
later.
everybody.
Good night, everybody.